Today is October the 7th, 2025. For the record, this is Yahweh Elohim, YAHUWAH, Yahweh, God of heaven and earth, the creator of heaven and earth, and the creator of hell, the master of angels and demons. So, my video yesterday was prohibited by the laws of man. So I see here, if anybody remembers and has been with me from the beginning, I said this: when we cross a certain barrier, there will be a time that if mankind continues to be disobedient, then I, as the mighty God above and the mighty God below, will be forced to use the dark army to accomplish my will. I am the only God who can not only possess man, but I can also possess demons. So, our little decor today is that rod. By using the frequencies of all the encapsulated energy that stems from these particular vocals and songs and tunes, enables me to go through the frequency and to backtrack it all the way to living demon entities. So, setting the tone here, mankind has no interest in doing my will. Mankind has no interest in doing anything I say. So mankind, you wanted to push all in on your man worship. Because understand something, you all think that disobeying me is a good idea. Well, what happens when all of your man worshipers are gone? What happens when all of the people that there are to man worship are gone? What happens when they've taken an elevator ride downstairs and you're still left with me, the Lord of hosts? So, these are songs from the domain of Satan himself. And I will bring all of them to attention to work my will upon the creation and upon mankind. Because mankind wants to reject my angels. You want to reject my blessing. You want to welcome the Church of Satan into my house, into my synagogue. Never do that again. P-Trump. I have a little section I think is funny. See, I do like to try to keep things very light, especially when they're about to get really, really heavy. So this I thought was quite funny.
Not to kill Pan when I had the chance. What have I done? What have I done, Smee? Agreed to a preposterous plan, an absurd war. Now I'm bound by my indefatigable good form to wait.
I'll fix you a nice plan.
Wait for what? Whether it be 3 days or 3 decades, he will always be a fat old Pan. Oh, I hate being disappointed, Smee, and I hate living in this flawed body, and I hate living in Neverland, and I hate Peter Pan!
Smee, I've just had a supplying vision. All the jagged parts of my life have come together to form a complete and mystical whole. An epiphany.
Epiphany what?
My life is over.
Does that mean you've lost your appetite?
Yes. Goodbye.
Where you going? Are you getting dramatic? Goodbye, Smee. Captain, why don't we play your island? Eh? You know, all the little Indians and the soldiers and all the lost boys? No stopping me this time, Smee. This is it. Don't make a move, Smee. Not a...
Well, I'll leave the rest for you to check out if you haven't seen the 1991 real-life movie Hook. It's a pretty good family movie, but I did like that little insert because, you know, Asher and I this morning were... When I get to that point where I'm not even heavy-faced, when I start to, like, laugh it off because I'm beyond a normal level of pissed, then I go into, like, an entirely different God mode. Where the lines are not just blurred, but they are removed. And, you know, we were joking in the car, and I said, that's very Trump-like. You know, Smee goes, I just had an apostrophe. Looks like an epiphany. He's such a dope, you know? Totally disconnected, right? Smee is just wanting that turkey leg, and, you know, Trump just wants that Nobel Peace Prize. Like, it's so insane. It's so insane that, I mean, I can't even fathom that, you know, World War II, you had allies coming together to literally fight evil, Nazis, mass murderers, terrorists of the highest kind, and yet the only way to end that war was an absolute victory. Was the enemy to wave the white flag, and something that I guess modern man doesn't know, especially not Trump. I think you should go back to your hotels and get the fuck out of the United States government, because you're not listening to me, therefore you are useless, Antichrist. So, I am always right. That's what's funny from my side of the fence, is I'm not wrong. If a human being could see the future, then you would know. You know? You would know that what I say is not only truth, it is fact, and it is the only way. Because now, the world has said, we're going to let terrorism be permitted. We're not going to speak about that. You all have become so obsessed with each other because you're a bunch of monkeys in suits who have the ability to speak. I will remove your voice because I gave it to you. I will remove your life because I gave it to you. If I need to call up a 10 billion strong demon army from the underworld, giving them just a 7-day reprieve from hell, they would all be vying for just 7 more days. See, angels don't, I don't like to get them dirty. I don't like them to have to do the dirty work that is required to clean mankind of their own ignorance and their own stupidity. Truly. Because, what does that do? What does that do? Not much. Not much. And, you know, it's true in the Inglorious Bastards clip that I shared this morning. You know, it clearly states, he's like, I didn't just climb all the way down from the Smoky Mountains, cross 5,000 miles of sea, fought through Sicily to get to here for no reason. 100 scalps from 100 dead Nazis. It's pretty cut and clear that anytime they look back upon, you know, anytime You know, he's going to the point where, you know, they're going to be in torment thinking about the things that we did to them. They're never going to look and act and behave the same way because the absolute terror that was rained down upon them. That is what it took to get Japan to heal. Not just one atomic bomb, people, but multiple atomic bombs to get Japan to heal. It took thousands, tens of thousands of soldiers to get Nazi Germany back in the box. And yet, modern man is facing a true demonic crisis, and you have been facing one since before 9/11. You got into the Middle East. You did not combat terrorism. Instead, you pussyfooted around, and guess what? Those same children 20 years ago that were just children have now grown up to be full-blown terrorists, you dumbass. Those same children are now adults with guns in their hands. And the same Jewish people that were walking into ovens by the hands of Hitler and all of his Nazi generals are the same type of demons that are inhabited in Hamas, while you fucking pigs are sitting there having tea and biscuits asking Hamas what they want so then they won't commit genocide against the Jews. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you are not only calling good evil and evil good, you have allowed it, continue to allow it, and you're going down the wrong road. That is why I, as the Lord God Almighty, if I'm going to preserve my earth, which at this point I think I got about a 5% chance as we speak right now, sweareth I, saith Yahweh Elohim, YAHUWAH. I am smaller than that close from completely destroying the earth. 100%. Hamas stands, I get no temple. I get no temple, I have no reason to stay here. I can go home to my own temple, to my own angels, my own garden, my own rules, and my own quite literal paradise that I built before I built the earth. And none of you are invited. So if you want to wait for Jesus, go wait for fucking Jesus. Because he ain't coming. You have one pathway out of this domain, and that pathway is me. Obeying my commandments, doing righteousness, and getting rid of evil. Hamas is evil. You are negotiating with evil. I never, ever, 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 ever want to hear about the stupid I stopped 7 wars. You didn't stop anything. They were not even real wars. The 2 real wars that are happening were happening before you, during you, and unless you actually do something, they're going to continue on before you. So what is my summary and point is, you're all useless. If you weren't useless, October 8th, it should have been every ally coming together, shoulder to shoulder, to sweep Gaza clean. Sweep Gaza clean. It could have been done by October the 15th. But you let the very faces of crowds, the very faces of rioters, the very faces of criminally negligent, demonic inhabited human beings sway your heart and mind, because your heart and mind is not steady. It is not true. It is not mine. You are the devil, means double-minded. You say you want goodness, but you have no idea on one way to achieve that. You try to treat your cancer with Tylenol. Do you understand how insane that is? It is insane. So, as the Lord God, what am I to do then? If I say, humans, do this, this is the solve, and humans say, no, we got a better solve, and I say, okay, well, you do understand that even if we lost all 20 of those hostages, by agreeing, negotiating with Hamas and terrorists, you actually just created a timeline where now 5-digit numbers of innocent people are going to die. That's true. Goes back to the old paradox, right? If Hitler was a baby And if humans only the future, as I do, then would you kill Hitler as a baby and spare millions of people? Well, as God, I'm telling you, by doing what you're doing with Hamas right now, there will not be another temple. The human race will never see the end days prophecies come to conclusion, because there's no place for me here. There's obviously not a people. You're telling me that I, as Yahweh Elohim, have 13 people on planet Earth subscribed to my channel, and then the rest want to watch my videos on their own time in secret and in hiding, and then they want to praise and worship their own way. At what point do you think this looks like an ounce of success for me? Trump is only worried about his fucking Nobel Peace Prize. None of you are going to be alive to see the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Peace Prize went to, and should go to, people that are doing 20 and 30 years worth of work for preventing baby syndrome, fetal sicknesses, things like this. Not making phone calls and yapping your big chubby mouth and about how great you are. Because understand that gloating, boasting, and all these things that there are so many people that are guilty of, but there is one, the chief in gloat. It's really fucking easy and it's really fast to find yourself on the wrong side of my chessboard. So, my next move, I have 2 moves left. One, I'm going to unleash the demon armies upon all the world, and I'm going to let them slaughter mankind at will. And the only ones that are going to be protected, saved, and blind to them are those that have my name, Yahweh Elohim, YAHUWAH, put into their mind, into their heart, and their spirit is stamped by the heavens, and it is accounted for by me. If they lose their life, I'll see them at home. All of the people talk about Jesus. You want to talk about all these other things? You want to be a Messiah follower, whatever? You have one God, one Messiah, one human that comes down as God. It is me. It is I. End of fucking story. Stop trying to get creative on how you can pray, honor, and worship the one true good God, but then trying to make sure I don't see it. I am that God. You just don't like me. And guess what? I don't like you either. I think humans are pretty much raunchy. You're dirty. You're sexually immoral. You're all liars. You have massive egos. Trump has the biggest ego. I mean, you have a big enough ego that I think that little Greta Thunberg and all her merry band of retards could have all floated across the fucking Atlantic Ocean on Trump's ego alone. It's disgusting. So, it's insane. It's insane. You know, I've done everything I can for you. I have tried to guide you. I have tried to walk you. I have tried to nurse you. I have tried to instruct you. I have tried to teach you. I have tried to show you the future. I have done everything. Mankind, stupid and hard-hearted, said, like Charlie Kirk, I'm going to keep saying Jesus and I'm going to keep debating people because he was a piece of shit too. And guess what happened? Gone, baby. Trump, your ass was saved by me to work my will. If you've ever seen Final Destination, I suggest maybe you give it a try. Maybe take a nice watch on it while you're on the plane or helicopter ride later, you know? Because the movie specifically states that when you have circumvented death, as you have, and so many others have, because of my good graces and my shielding and protecting and loving hands, the moment that hand comes off of you, death goes on the hunt for you. That's fact. That's fact. Because this is insanity. It's insane that I have to even explain what goodness and righteousness are. I mean, I'm over this progressive shit. I'm over this Jesus shit. I'm over the Pope shit. You know, the funny hats, holding the dead body. That's what I mean. You guys are so wickedly sick. I see nothing on earth worth saving. And to know that even after Yom Kippur, half my people still don't know me. They still don't know my voice. They would still celebrate and cheer if some man like you somehow think that Trump is your Messiah. Well, guess what? I'll see to it that you all go to hell too. You want Yeshua to come down from the clouds? Fuck you, you can go to hell too. You want Jesus to come down from the clouds? Fuck you, you can go to hell too. It's the YAHUWAH show. And I am beyond pissed. I am about to take my displeasure out upon this plane that will far surpass any and all of your understandings and or creativity, Gene, to even allow you to perceive the atrocities that are going to transpire upon the creation. Yesterday's video came with warnings. It came with lots of things, and you know what? We are literally sitting at the crossroads. We are sitting at this place that humanity says they know better. If you knew better, then you would have said to people that broke into homes, kidnapped people while they were attending concerts, cooking breakfasts, going to school, like normal things, just normal people. They kidnapped them, they raped them, they murdered them, they've abused them, and they've kept them hostage for 2 years. And now we're going to let 1,700 murderers, terrorists, out of the gate so we can appease our hearts for 20 people. And then we're going to let Hamas disarm. And you all know that is the stupidest thing, because guess what? That's a Trump thing. Because he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. He doesn't give a fuck about the Jews. He doesn't give a fuck about the blacks. He don't give a fuck about women. He gives a fuck about himself. And if none of you can see that, then you're all stupidly blind. Conservatives, you know, the Jack Hibbs of the world who get a fucking hard on about President Trump, well, I got news for you. He got picked. I saved his life, and he's still a fucking ape. I'm taking 5 before I fucking freak out. So, had to take 5 here. Switching from coffee. Insanity. Because here's my issue, right? If you had a dying mother who had cancer, and you were the caretaker, and you said, "Here, Mom, here's some Tylenol." And she looks at you and she's like, "Well, that might help with like my symptoms, but is that going to cure the cancer?" "Doesn't matter, Mom. It's going to get me a Nobel Peace Prize." Isn't that worth more to you than you surviving? And if human beings can't see the wicked and evilness in that, but yet you can sit there on your high horse, being sinful, being deceitful, and not even knowing who you are yourself, and then you listen to a tune or a reverberation that, as you know, I as Elohim use tools of reverberation to accomplish my will, because all of your matter, so matter, hard, physical, matter, all these things, all your fucking things are held together by a level of vibration that I, as your Elohim, put into place to keep all your shit from falling apart. When I begin to cease that resounding frequency, that resonation, your things begin to crumble. Your brand new things turn to dust, and you as a person turn back to dust. Do you hear me? And that's what I mean. It's false hearts of humanity. You all have a particular picture that you've painted yourself in a fairy tale land of who your God is, that Jesus is your God. Jesus is a fucking dead idol, and he ain't coming back for you. All of you are already condemned. You're useless, you're worthless, you are dust. And if you just so happen to have a little bit of stardust in there that you can't die, then I'll make sure that your souls are bound downstairs. And you know what? Maybe you too will have a chance. I don't know. Maybe 1,000,000 years from now, when I'm dealing with the next crop of humans and they're starting to have an idiot problem upon this planet or another planet, then maybe I'll offer you the same deal that I did, right? Trump talks about the art of the deal. You know what's so funny? When I go up and I start looking at the future of the next epoch, the next new earth, the next set of fucking problems I'm going to have in the next 7-figure years, and I go downstairs and I go, hey, I remember you. Man, you are like legendary history to the humans. You are. You know, I bet I could use you. And at that point, a parched look on his face would be in shambles. And then that tiny, tiny little bit of light that would penetrate that darkness would be such an iota of hope. And then I will offer that deal and I'll say, you know what? I will let you out if you come into the service of me and you do all the things I say. And you know what? I have a perfect track record. Perfect. Not one has denied that. Right? Because it's amazing. Psychologically, emotionally, those are really the only things you have left. And then the thing is, if you ever known what that syndrome is, right, where people who have lost their limbs in war or they've, you know, whatever, they have feelings that the limb is still there. They have these feelings that it like itches, it even hurts, right? But it's a ghost limb. It's not existent. See, that's what happens to the dead when they're in hell, is they still have the sensations. Never goes away. So that's why that it puts people in a particular position that they never take for granted who I am, my real name, my purpose, and my kingship. They never, ever, ever forsake me again. That's fact. It's only now, when I've given you long, long leashes to say, let's be partners. This is what I say. This is the solution to your problem. This is how you handle it. And this, in the end, not only will save more lives, it is going to create true and lasting peace. But mankind buckles to the peer pressure of the nations. Nations in which I've already sworn to you I will crush. And especially being nations that I have sworn to I will protect. I remove that. I redact that. I'm not saving anything that's not for me. And I'm not saving something that says that it's for me, but then denies me. You understand the silliness of that. So, mankind, you wanna ante up. You want to keep playing at high levels. You want to keep playing high stakes poker with the Elohim of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob. You want to keep playing with the one who blew Sodom and Gomorrah completely off the fucking map. You want to keep playing with the one who turned Sarah into salt. Yeah, that's what you guys want to keep doing. So that's what we'll do then. That's what we'll do. Because I am absolutely beyond frustrated. I'm beyond wrathful. I'm beyond mad. And I have no other choice. I have no choice. I think it is outright disgusting that mankind wants to reward a disgusting man the Nobel Peace Prize for doing nothing but disobeying Elohim, me, and kicking the can down the road for more and more people to die by the hands of evil. Maybe once the demons are in America and they're back in Israel and then they're back in all these other places, France, London, England, Spain, Rome. I mean, let's talk about terror attacks right there in the middle of Rome, right in Vatican. I'm tired of seeing this fucking Pope Leo in some white with some crown holding the dead body. You are all putrid, disgusting. I, as the King of Heaven, rebuke and reject you indefinitely. There is no place for you. There is no mansions in heaven for you. None of you. This is the way you treat your Elohim, shame on you. This is the way you treat your fellow man, shame on you. This is the way that you think piety and righteousness is supposed to work out, shame on you. I curse and I condemn all of you. Bullshit is what it is. Bullshit is what it is. So I mean, you guys are all hopped up on Jesus and fake man worship, and you guys are so lost. You know what's funny is I love hearing these scholars. I love hearing these scholars trying to debate whether hell is real or what does the Bible say. The Bible says what I've allowed you to know. It says what I allow you to know. You know, this book, The Rise and the Fall of the Third Reich. Does this book have all the details of the war? Does it have all the ins and outs of it? Absolutely not. Because if you were to put all that, the pages would wrap around the world. And that's just a short period of time within a war. So I'm giving you the summary version. I am the best Elohim to the righteous that are in heaven, to the angels that I created, and my realms are perfect. The proof is in the pudding, and how I operate. The proof of humans' fallibility, sinful nature, retardation, idiocy, self-exaltation. I absolutely can't stand self-exaltation. And you know what? By being the top of that pyramid, that all things have transpired from me, the inceptor of all things, he who makes exist, that means that I know the minds of demons as well as I know the minds of angels. I know the minds of man as well as I know the minds of the human beings that are in heaven. That means I understand humanity as a zookeeper understands the animals in which he keeps. I know the human race better than the human race knows the human race. So you wanted to push all in, you wanted to ante up, you wanted to put forth your hero who does nothing. It's Tuesday, anniversary of October 7th, and we're having fucking tea and coffee with Hamas. You people are making this too easy. I've contemplated this. I was telling Asher this morning over coffee. I said, I literally think that this is mankind playing chicken with God. I said, I literally feel like they're all so over living that they want death by God. That's what I think is happening here. Because I should strike fear in the hearts and minds of every single person upon this planet. My creation responds to my touch. My animals respond to my voice. Everywhere I go, my birds, they flock everywhere. Even people that don't know it's me in the car or wherever, you can always see them looking around like, wow, that's a lot of birds. And they always seem to fly right in front of me in big gatherings, but then right when I come past, they all bow, they all land. Then when I pass that particular point, they all go up and begin again. I just really look at like the future Bible, and I'm like, man, like how you guys like to rag on Nebuchadnezzar. Like there's going to be future humans that are going to be ragging Trump as like the worst leader the stupidest leader, the most self-exalted, egotistical person in the end days, who absolutely fits the puzzle piece of the Antichrist, because he is anti, meaning he's not. Christ, meaning anointed one. He is not the anointed one. He has the power of the United States military. He has the power over the CIA, the power of the FBI, and he obviously has some kind of power domain over a bunch of human beings who salivate at his presence. Which again, you guys, if Trump said he needed an asshole bleaching, human beings would throw money on the ground for that. Human beings would throw money on the ground for that. But I, as Elohim, tell you I'm about to destroy the entire planet if we don't start walking in accordance with my will. And you... I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that. I'm going to go walk ignorantly and do my thing. Keep walking. Because guess what? In poker, they call it the nuts. The hand that cannot be beaten. And I hold the straight royal flush, the hand that cannot be beaten, because your existence depends upon me. I do not depend upon your existence, but you're supposed to be vying for my love, vying for my concern, vying for my protection, vying for the gifts of the Spirit, vying to go upstairs into the heavenly abode. And mankind would rather listen to men talk senseless nonsense. You know, I'm done. I've made my fucking point. There's your warnings, there's your promises. Signed, sealed, delivered. Now you'll see.